Third down and 20.
What is the future of Matt Ryan? Matty Ice. Steed, I kind of want to throw this to you in kind of like a multiple part question. First off, do you see Matt Ryan still on the Falcons in 2 years, even next year? I don't know how long is left on his deal, but there's been talks, especially in the draft this year. Are the Falcons going to draft a quarterback? Obviously, they did not. I think that was a good move because, 3 quarterbacks kind of went 1, 2, 3. You pick up Kyle Pitts as BPA, but they're still looking to be on Matt Ryan on the move. Is he out of there? The cap hit, the talent, is he falling off? Is he still going on? So how much longer does Matt Ryan have both on the Falcons, and how much longer does Matt Ryan have left in the league? So I'm throwing it to you. What do you think?
Tough. It is tough, man, especially after he lost his Thunder buddy for life. Listen, I'm still going to stick what I've always thought. I think he will be a Falcon for life. He will finish his career with the Falcons. You say 1 or 2 years. I still think Matt Ryan can play for another 4 years, like once he hits 40. Because he's going into his, what is he now, 36?
Yeah,
he's 36. Oh, yeah, he's old. But the thing is, I still think Matt Ryan can play at, like, maybe not as an elite level like a 2016. But, I mean, he didn't play all that bad last year. Like with the offense like scheme around him that was just horrendous. It was terrible. It was hard to watch what Dirk Cutter was calling. Like couldn't get an open receiver. He had no running game since 2016. So I think if Arthur Smith is looking into it, wouldn't you rather just? I mean, yeah, you would want to draft a quarterback and get your guy because it's your team now. But again, you could kind of just draft the roster right now or build the roster around Matt Ryan. Let's send out this final hoorah and try to do something. Because also it just depends on like how Matt Ryan performs, right? Like if the team's doesn't perform and they go 5-12 or 4-13, 6-11 or something like that, and they have another good draft spot, and you just see a decline in Matt Ryan's play, which I feel like that would be very tough to see. Then they would be in a spot where like, okay, we're probably going to draft a quarterback and move on. I still have I would still hold a lot of stock in Matt Ryan on proven himself. I know him and Aaron Rodgers are different athletic capabilities, and the arm strength has definitely come down a lot, for Matt since 2016. His deep ball is pretty much not non-existent, but like it takes a little bit longer to get there now and can't throw as farther. I still like him as a competitor. I don't think he's going to be a Tom Brady where he's going to play until he's 85 years old, but 40-year-old Matt, I think he could play in the league that long and still be a competitor.
Yeah, for me, I like Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. Like you mentioned, the arm strength is definitely an issue. But I just saw Phillip Rivers lead the Colts to the playoffs with his little sidearm thing, his noodle arm, right? Not that arm strength is overrated, but if you're able to be a good decision maker, get your process fast, and as long as you're able to hit a throw 40, 50 yards down the field, which he is, you can play. So right now, Matt Ryan is kind of looked at as a glorified bridge quarterback, right? His contract, people are saying the Falcons want to get off of it. You'd probably compare him right now more so to Jimmy Garoppolo than you would to a Matt Stafford, right? Which I don't necessarily agree with. I still think that Matt Ryan is a guy that has winning football left in him. I think that if the Falcons do get rid of him, there's going to be a good market for him in free agency, right? For maybe a team like the Washington football team that could really use him. If Fitzmagic decides to kick it next year, and all of a sudden Washington football team, let's say they're still a good team with that good defense, they're looking in free agency, and well, who's the best guy available? It could easily be Matt Ryan, and he could easily take that team to the playoffs in that division. So I still think Matt Ryan stamping it down 3 good years. I think Matt Ryan has easy. 3 years of good, winning, franchise quarterback level football. That's what I'm calling. After that, I don't know.
I do. I just, I don't see him playing for another team other than the Falcons. Even if like it was brought
Oh, I
up, I
could
think
see it.
really, I can't see it.
Yeah, I
I
could see
don't
it.
think it would. I don't think it would ever happen.
Yeah, but dude, if the Falcons are picking top 15 and there's a good quarterback available that they could trade up for or is on the board, like I could see it happening. I could see it happening.
I don't think they're going to be picking in that position ever again. Well, like ever again, but like in Matt Ryan's later duration. I do like I'm telling you, the best time to sleep on the Falcons is when the best time to bet on the Falcons is when everybody else is sleeping on them.
Sleeping with him.
Yeah, well,
Falcons getting
maybe.
around.
Yeah, well, I would hope, but it's a good point though. Like it's just because like Matt Ryan is never the problem, right? But like his contract's so like
Yeah, the
big that you
contract is
just
rough.
and that was the thing with Julio. It's not that we wanted to get rid of Julio and do this rebuild or whatever. Like because we're not truly rebuilding. We're kind of like in a transition where like we have good pieces and they want to build on top of those pieces, but it's not a true rebuild.
Well, the other
I don't
thing
know. I
too, though,
think.
with Julio is that you were able to get out when you could. You had a team that was giving you a 2 and a 4, and you
Mhm.
were off the hook of his contract, which is a large contract. It was 15.6 mil, fully guaranteed, right? For a dude that
Yeah.
played 9 games. He played like 2 games because the other games that he was playing, he was only playing third downs basically.
Yeah.
You had an out, right? Which maybe we would have seen that with Matt Ryan if they had an opportunity to say, hey, you could just kick it, no money, no dead cap, none of that. Yeah, maybe they get rid of Matt Ryan. But even if they do, it's like I see another team jumping on that opportunity to pick
I
him
know.
up and try to win.
Yeah, when I say like I don't see him playing for another team, I think this might be more of a fan coming out of me, but I think I think Arthur Blank would shut that down. I think it would be a little loyalty. Like Matt Ryan's is like he said it, like he's a son to him. Like I think he would go front office and be like, "No, you're making him play out the rest of his career here. I don't care."
Well, I think that Matt Ryan, if push comes to shove, will take a pay cut and all the
Oh yeah, he takes a
contract
pay cut every year.
jargon
He takes a
to
pay cut every year.
yeah to try and to help the football team under the cap. But I do agree with you that at the end of the day, the problem with the Falcons offense is not Matt Ryan. The problem with the Falcons offense was not Julio Jones or the receivers. The problem with the Falcons offense is the fact that they have spent so many resources trying to rebuild that offensive line group, and
Yeah.
it's not worked out. This is a group that, listen, football isn't rocket science a lot of the time. It's, dude, when y'all made the Super Bowl, Kyle Shanahan, right? You had a great offensive coordinator and you had a top 5 offensive line group in the league, statistically speaking, and on tape, right? They played well. And guess what? You lose a great offensive coordinator and your offensive line deteriorates. There's a direct correlation. You start losing football games and on top of the defense, right? It's not crazy. This is a group that up front y'all need to improve. You can't run the football consistently, right? You can't protect the
Yeah.
quarterback consistently. That's not winning football. And then you have Dirk Cutter, who, when you have a lead, will not run the football and did not refuse to run the football, which kind of directly led to a couple of losses. It wasn't even the fact that y'all couldn't get a first down. It was the fact that you took 15 seconds off the game clock and gave the other team the football back, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not winning
Well,
football.
I mean, with the now the coaching change and it goes like complete 180 with Arthur Smith, who like based off his track record with the Titans, love to run the football. You might see a
Yeah.
little something different here, but like yeah,
And you picked up
the
Jalen
offensive line,
Mayfield, a good little value
yeah, Jalen.
pick.
I think so too. I like Jalen Mayfield, and some people were projected to go first round.
Yeah, you
I
picked him up
the
really early third round. So I like that pick a lot. I thought he was personally going to go second round.
Yeah, so I thought we had a great draft, but alongside that, it's just I know we talked about earlier with Alex Mack, and he is older and wasn't playing at that elite level that we once signed him at. But dude, I don't know who's going to be hiking the ball for Matt. That's the only problem. If it's Matt Hennessy, oh god, see you later. Like, but no, actually, we drafted a center. We drafted
Drew
drafted
Dahlman.
that dude from we drafted him from Stanford. His dad actually coached for the Falcons back in the day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so maybe like there's something happening there because like I'm telling you right now, I know if Arthur Smith walked in and watched some tape of last year and they're like, who the hell is this Matt Hennessy guy? Like that's why he drafted Dahlman because he was like, dude, this guy can't play.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the episode. I mean, we're both Matt Ryan guys, so we're hoping to see Matt Ryan turn it around for the Falcons this year. He's a good dude, plays hard, so we're hoping to see Steed's Falcons actually win some games. Just hopefully not more than 7.